Bonsoir, c'est Debir et bienvenue dans la caverne. Et aujourd'hui, pour la reprise de l'année 2020, d'ailleurs bonne année à tous, merci d'être toujours plus nombreux à nous suivre, ça nous fait énormément plaisir sur la chaîne. Il n'y a pas eu beaucoup d'activités ces temps-ci, c'est tout à fait normal, nous étions assez occupés en cette fin d'année, comme vous tous, et puis également avec chacun nos études respectives, évidemment tout le monde le sait. Alors, aujourd'hui, dans le cadre de la Caverne des Ombres, let's play que j'anime moi-même, puisqu'il s'agit le plus souvent de jeux d'horreur, de jeux d'enquête ou de choses qui sont quand même assez polars, un peu sombres et toutes ces choses-là. Du coup, comme c'est moi qui m'en occupe, c'est mon let's play qui commence à durer depuis un petit moment sur plein de jeux. Alors cette année, 2019, on a entamé plein de jeux, on a fait plein de jeux différents, on a vu plein de choses, commencé plein de let's play, qu'on va tous finir, mais je me suis rendu compte qu'il fallait que je mette de l'ordre avant toute chose dans les vidéos. Donc je vais laisser un peu de côté les let's play que j'ai fait sur Lust for Darkness et sur The Darkwater, donc la suite, enfin pas la suite pas officielle de Until Dawn, donc vu que c'est par le même éditeur, donc je vais les laisser un peu de côté et je vais me concentrer cette année 2020 à finir le jeu The Council, puisque c'est mon jeu, comme vous le savez, mon jeu préféré, c'est un peu on va dire le let's play de la chaîne, c'est le let's play avec lequel la chaîne a commencé, le jeu avec lequel on a commencé, donc écoutez, comme d'habitude, si cela vous plaît, n'hésitez pas à liker, partager, commenter, vous avez l'habitude, maintenant on est bien rodé, et donc ce qu'on va faire, c'est qu'on va reprendre. Alors nous sommes à la saison 2 de ce let's play, alors à nouvelle année, nouvelle saison, saison 2, on avait fini la saison 1, souvenez-vous, avant, avec le dernier chapitre qui s'appelait La Gorgone, où on apprenait que notre mère avait, vous vous souvenez, avait disparu, et qu'elle avait été torturée par on ne sait quel, enfin que il y avait une fille un peu bizarre avec des tatouages ésotériques sur elle qui avait été torturée soi-disant par ma mère et que Louis ne voulait pas y croire justement, et donc je propose que nous démarrions à l'épisode Où est ma mère, qui est l'épisode de la saison 2. Nous avons fini le prologue ensemble qu'on pourrait appeler la saison 1 et nous allons commencer. Alors il faut que je me réhabitue au jeu parce que ça fait très longtemps.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother,
Là je me tais parce que c'est le résumé.
men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet. Monsieur de Richet, I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
Ah oui, voilà, on avait été arrêté. Voilà, c'est exactement ça dont je me souviens. Alors, donc nos lectures, nous avons 2 points de manuscrit. Alors on va les mettre en séance et conversation. En tac et tac. Voilà, donc on démarre dans le bureau de Lord Mortimer.
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was of course in the hope that you would help us find your mother.
Je comprends.
But an act of horrific violence.
Alors voyons Lord Mortimer comme personnage. On commence à les avoir un peu tous vus. Vulnérabilité à la manipulation, à la logique et à l'interrogation. Washington, on sait pas encore. Ah oui, parce que vous vous souvenez, il y a des immunités à la conviction. Vous voyez, tous les personnages ont des petites failles, ont des petites choses, tu vois. Vulnérabilité aux interrogatoires, de Richet, nanana, Elisabeth machin. Holmes, Sir Gregory Holmes, le mec bizarre, Jacques Perru, Ils Osborne, De Richet, Mortimer et Adams. Lord Mortimer.
During the night. And I do not know if this is linked to the disappearance of Sarah.
Un lien avec ma mère.
What are you getting at? What act of violence?
We found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. She was brutally murdered, stabbed several times.
Ouais.
I'll get straight to the point, Louis. According to the initial elements at my disposal,
Semblait être dernière personne à avoir vu
you were
vivant.
the last person to see her alive.
Oui bah ça va,
Yes,
m'accuse
last
pas non
night
plus,
we,
gros bâtard.
Do you suspect me?
I want you to tell me everything that happened last night and leave nothing out. Tell me, how did the evening begin?
Ah,
Duchess Hillsborough and I were returning to our rooms when Elizabeth came up to us. She was in a state of panic and insisted that she needed to speak to me. She said she feared for her life. I took my leave of the Duchess and followed Elizabeth to her room.
ouais.
Continue.
She insisted we have a drink, without which she refused to confide anything.
What exactly did she want?
Nous y revoilà.
About my mother.
Ouais.
She had just found out that I was Sarah de Richet's son. Elizabeth wanted to tell me about the horrors my mother apparently inflicted on her.
Finding out that your own parents had always lied to you. Well, that must not have been an easy thing to hear. But do go on.
Quel
I refused to
petit-fils
go
de
on
pute.
drinking with her. She already seemed drunk and her conversation became confused. So, then she ordered me to get out. If only I'd stayed.
Don't blame yourself, Louis. How could you have known? But thank you for this new information.
Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed.
I understand. What do you intend to do?
I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you.
Ouais,
You
mais je
have
me
my
méfie de
backing.
toi quand même, hein, parce qu'on t'a
Stop
pas
at
vu depuis le
nothing.
début de l'histoire, t'apparais que
Can I count
maintenant.
on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi, so I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Petit
Can you
détails.
tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
D'accord. Eh ben on y
Right.
va.
I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Parfait. Alors comme ça, me voilà redevenu un enquêteur. Pendant un instant, j'ai cru qu'ils allaient m'accuser et me foutre en prison. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Modifier la seconde lettre. Ouais bah nique ta mère les... Alors, donc, il faut que je récupère ce petit machin là.
Golden elixir.
Faut que je fasse le tour de cette pièce. Cette baraque est bizarre quand même.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits. The nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
Tu sais, je suis en train de lui piquer tous les trucs de son bureau à l'autre, il s'en bat les couilles. Oh, un oiseau. Il est magnifique. Ah, tu as un livre là-bas. Le Léviathan. Ça vous rappelle quelque chose? Parce que moi, ça me rappelle beaucoup de choses, tout ça. Bon, allons parler à son éminence Piaggi qui a l'air bien trop heureux dans son coin.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
C'est-il pourquoi?
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis.
Autre
But
chose?
if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Bien sûr. Le rapport d'enquête. C'est pas un peu dangereux d'avoir un bureau avec un puits énorme devant sans barrière autour? Curieux. Bon, allons-y. Ah, j'adore les descentes d'escalier rapides. J'aime bien ces petites maisons sympathiques. Alors je crois que bon, on avait fouillé de toute façon tout ce qui est aux alentours. Alors on va aller interroger tous les suspects apparemment. Et ben en avant pour l'enquête. La chambre de Madame Adams. Oh, j'adore cette musique.
C'est Jacques Peru.
Ouais, je vais pas aller le voir tout de suite, Jacques Peru. Je vais d'abord voir la scène de crime. Je dois être
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
J'adore l'accent anglais, attendez.
Monsieur Napoléon
Napoléon
Bonaparte.
Bonaparte. J'adore l'accent anglais. Pour parler français. Enfin, l'accent français pour parler anglais, plutôt. Bon, est-ce que ce serait pas la chambre d'Elizabeth Adams?
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Non, Ballet Coronesse.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Je m'en bats les couilles du duc Manuel Godoy. Ça doit être le dernier qu'on n'a pas encore vu, ce coco-là. Elizabeth Adams, il me semble que sa chambre est là-bas. Ça doit être moi.
Huh, that's me. Monseigneur His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Et lui, on l'a déjà exempté vu que c'est un homme d'église. Elizabeth Adams, je crois que c'est elle, non? Ah non, pas encore. Un peu plus loin, sans doute. Je pense que c'est ça. Hein.
President George Washington.
Ah bah non, pas encore. Tiens, le Lord. Allons lui poser quelques questions.
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Has anyone told you that Elizabeth was killed last night?
Yes. Rumors spread quickly.
Huh. He looks very put out.
It's horrible. How did it happen?
I can say nothing to you, sir. You'd better follow your host's instructions and stay in your quarters.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Ouais. Mais il me paraît pas très clair celui-là. J'aurais peut-être dû insinuer qu'il était louche, mais ça aurait paru bizarre. Je n'ai encore aucune conclusion à mon enquête. Très sympathique quand même. Oh. Salement amoché. Avec tous ces tatouages occultes sur le corps. Bon. Alors, on va commencer par ce qui saute aux yeux. Ah bah il y a le valet. On va déjà interroger le valet.
Has Sir finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me.
Merci, gros con.
My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing to inform you of some unfortunate news.
Nous ne pourrons nous
We
voir
won't be able
comme
to meet
convenu le
as
premier
planned
dimanche de
on the
mai.
first Sunday of May. I've been told that you're no better, and, unfortunately, your brothers and I are absolutely snowed under by the work required to govern this new country.
Ton
Please
père qui t'aime,
excuse us.
John Adams.
As soon as we can get free,
Ouais, étrange.
the clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime.
Mhm. Ok. Soit des altérations négatives.
A Greek drachma, one of the rare ancient coins to be mentioned both in the Bible and in the Quran. A novel of the initiation of a young woman into polite society. A notebook written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out.
Oh génial, je suis trop une merde. Juste une question, alors est-ce qu'on avait des... Inventaire personnage. Ah bah voilà. Ah j'ai pas de... Ah d'accord, ok, j'ai...
June 11th, 1791. My dear Elizabeth, your last letter gave me much cause for concern. Your words were so cold.
Abigail.
June 11th,
Ta gueule.
August 24th, 1792. Elizabeth, I am driven to despair.
C'est étrange quand même à tout ça.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France.
Ah.
There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently.
D'accord, du coup, au libérateur de la France,
Right.
donc c'est un pistolet
I shall have to
français.
find its owner. August 24th. 30 November, 1791.
Annulation de nos retrouvailles comme un coup de
My dear
poignard dans le
sister.
cœur. Ouais d'accord, du coup ça c'est sa sœur. Clé de cercle, d'accord. D'accord. Ouais, elle dormait dans un confort un peu spartiate. Hein.
A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here?
Quel est le rapport avec la mort d'Elisabeth?
I wonder if Elizabeth's death has anything at all to do with this pentagram. If a ritual went wrong and degenerated, Elizabeth would probably have been killed in the center of the pentagram, not 3 meters from here. That's strange.
Ouais, vachement étrange.
A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here?
Ça du coup je l'ai déjà dit, je me rappelle des autres.
Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
Ouais, ça m'étonnerait quand même, hein. Sinon elle serait comme il a dit, elle serait par exemple toujours ce symbole étrange là-bas qu'on voit depuis le début du jeu. Voyons un peu ce qu'il y a ici. Ah, de la gelée royale.
Vials of laudanum.
Du laudanum, c'est un
The label
somme.
shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
Ouais, moi je suis pas sûr moi. Le laudanum, pour ceux qui savent pas, c'est un somnifère très puissant. Qui est souvent...
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits. The blood spatter indicates that the murder must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Ouais, ça sent l'histoire du français, ça quand même. Hein. Moi je dis c'est pas très net tout ça. Ah, il y a un coffre ici.
A chest with a half circle pattern.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Vous avez collecté 4 fragments d'an, ouais, le nombre de points d'effort maximum.
An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible.
Prendre les notes, on ne sait jamais si ça peut servir pour plus tard. Voilà, j'ai restauré mon karma, comme on l'appelle, appelez ça comme vous voulez.
The handprint on the handle is really small. I can't imagine a man with a hand that size. It must be from a woman's hand.
Ouais, ça pourrait être aussi ma mère qu'on n'a pas vue depuis le début.
Knocked over bottle of wine. Same thing Elizabeth served me last night. Still just as disgusting. I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable. Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Ouais. Ouais, c'est pas terrible. Hein. Boulot assez pas très propre.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Ouais, pas terrible. Hein. Signification des scarifications.
People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control.
Ouais, bah ça tout le monde le sait plus ou moins. Analyse des scarifications, je vais pas trop de sens examiner les cicatrices.
Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts.
Délabel, traduire les textes, je peux pas. Putain, il y a plein de choses que je peux pas faire, ça m'énerve.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Ouais, merci Einstein. Observez les plaies. Ouais, je vais pas gâcher trop de trucs. Hein.
Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by, it's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Putain de sa race. Quelle horreur. Ouais, je vais pas gâcher tous mes trucs, j'ai plus d'élixir doré. Examiner le torse. Examiner la tête.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations.
Putain, quelle horreur. Putain, c'est horrible.
She bled from the nose. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Merci, génial. On s'en bat les couilles. Mais il n'est la bouche.
What a strange smell.
Bientôt plus, on sait jamais, des fois que j'en ai besoin pour un interrogatoire après, de toute façon c'est un corps. Examiner la tête, les mains, le torse, les mains.
No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol.
Putain, mais c'est pas vrai, putain. Je vais plus avoir de trucs après. Examiner les jambes.
Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body. The direction of the blood streaks caused by the wounds to the thorax show that she was standing when she lost blood. This proves that she was standing when she was assassinated, possibly held by someone or something.
Examiner les jambes, les mains, tout est bon. Je crois que j'ai tout, hein. Le vin, le stylet. Bon, je crois qu'on a tout, hein.
Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Thanks. Oh.
Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Merci, c'est gentil, mais... Qu'est-ce qui se passe là? Mais me dis pas que le jeu a planté, mon personnage est bloqué. Mais... Oh, oh. Voilà, je suis obligé de recommencer. Excusez-moi pour cet interlude. Quoi? Non mais c'est une plaisanterie. Oh non, mais c'est pas vrai. Je suis à 1 centimètre de la porte.
Has Sir finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me.
Putain, me bouge.
Has finished with this
I know
room?
enough now. Thank you.
Very well.
Qu'est-ce que j'ai fait, oh bon Dieu? C'est une putain de plaisanterie ou quoi?
Has finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Est-ce que je peux sortir, s'il vous plaît? Pourquoi c'est pas de chi... Il n'y a pas un accès aux sauvegardes du jeu? Monsieur... Mais c'est une plaisanterie, c'est... C'est une plaisanterie. Ah, ça y est. Oh putain, j'ai eu peur. Bon, il est grand temps d'aller interroger tous les gens. Alors on en sait un peu plus, on va essayer d'aller interroger tous ceux qui sont à notre portée. On va commencer par George Washington.
A map of Vermont. My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you.
Ok, d'accord.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
The English and the Americans are preparing a peace treaty. It would appear that Emily is in secret discussion with Washington about reopening trade between the United States and England. If such an arrangement came into being, France would suffer dearly.
Intéressant.
A map of Connecticut.
Ah ouais, du coup les gens sont vraiment chez eux, quoi. Genre il leur a mis des chambres à disposition de ouf. Il est sympa ce Lord Mortimer, enfin je le soupçonne de pas être très franc du collier, mais...
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Portrait of George Washington.
Oh merci. Oh oui, je récupère un peu de... Bon, j'ai fouillé à peu près sa chambre, je pense. J'ai vu tout ce qu'il y avait à voir. Allons interroger ce brave George Washington, président des États-Unis.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Lui avait-il parlé? Quel est son alibi pour la nuit dernière? Alors, on va la jouer stratégiquement.
Tell me, Mr. President.
On va d'abord parler de
ça.
ça.
Have you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered.
Ouais, c'est sûr. Interrogé sur le laudanum.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes. She came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
En consomme-t-il beaucoup?
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines.
D'accord, d'accord. Alors on va jouer stratégique, on va consommer une de ces merdes là. Et on va lui dire...
I'm talking to all the guests to find out who has an alibi and, well, who doesn't, Mr. President. Can you tell me what you were doing last night so that I can strike your name off the list?
I spent the night right here, reading.
All night?
Exactly. Emily stopped by in the middle of the night, you can ask her. She wanted to
Nous
talk
avons en
about some
commun,
business we
blablabla,
have
je
in
connais
common.
votre affaire, vous
Anything whatsoever to
complotez.
do with Elizabeth?
Not at all, Louis. A business matter.
Parfait, il a l'air de souffrir. Non, pas besoin. Lui
Do you
connaissait-il?
know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Peru, but that case was closed if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry, countryman or not, I'm not letting
Oui, bien
anybody
sûr.
slip through the cracks.
Que ciel-t-il les raisons de sa présence ici?
Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer, to see if he could help her.
Ouais. Pourquoi l'inviter maintenant? Alors c'est vrai que c'est une réponse intéressante. Allez.
It would appear that she wasn't invited to the conference.
That doesn't surprise me. The poor girl was in no way concerned by our business, and she had no political clout.
So, I don't understand why Sir Gregory invited her during the conference of his good friend Lord Mortimer. He must have realized that he wouldn't have much time to grant her. Preparing a conference does not seem an easy task. On the evening of our arrival, Lord Mortimer didn't even welcome us, what with his being so busy and all.
Yes, you're right, Louis. I didn't think of that. It is indeed rather surprising. The easiest thing to do is simply ask him, you know.
Of course. Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured, it looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Parfait. Bon, on a interrogé Washington. À ce stade-là de l'enquête, je pense pas qu'il soit vraiment coupable. Après, je ne préfère pas me prononcer. Mais on va aller interroger les autres. J'ai plus des soupçons sur Bonaparte ou Jacques Perru, je pense. Après, je pense qu'il ne faut pas se laisser influencer par le fait que Bonaparte soit un personnage historique, puisque je pense que ce jeu est quand même une fiction.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Piaggi, lui, bon, on peut l'exclure, vu que de toute façon, bon, ça c'est la mienne de chambre. J'adore ces couloirs, c'est tellement joli. Avec le plancher qui grince.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
On l'a pas encore vu, Godoy.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Allons voir la duchesse. C'est dans l'ordre des... Ouh.
King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess. Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice.
Il y a une lettre, mais apparemment on ne peut pas la prendre.
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds. Painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family.
Dear
In an
Eve,
effort to find their
I
husband.
received your number.
Ouais, bien, bien, ok, bien joué, nickel. Que des lettres fortement inutiles. Ah, un bouquin.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
Une partie. Bien.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers.
Putain.
Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise taxes?
Prise de discussion, d'accord. Bonjour, du soutien du Saint-Père. Nous vous aiderons à financer le recrutement de régiments d'émigrés royalistes afin de lutter contre la France. Oula!
Two coils circle the lock.
Je m'en bats les couilles.
Queen Charlotte. All the a letter from William Pitt the Elder addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and
Ce qui concerne mon fils William, nanana,
I shall
votre
be indebted
dévoué
to you to
William
my last
Pitt.
breath. If you have...
Putain.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Fortement intéressant. Allons discuter un peu avec elle.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too
Pardon,
much.
excusez-moi. Pas vraiment, mais j'espère au moins que la dette de la malheureux...
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe. And Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act. Don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural.
Elle est vulnérable.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects. Can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with Elizabeth.
You're sure it's not too hard to bear for you?
Ouais, merci,
salope. I don't have a choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least.
D'accord, d'accord. Où était-elle la nuit dernière? Quelles étaient les relations?
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
Toujours se méfier des femmes.
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, Well, you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
Tell me, Emily, what's the nature of your relationship with Washington?
Oh, come off it, Louis. You're not going to go into a jealous rage, are you?
No, I can assure you of that. That has nothing to do with it. You're preparing a treaty to break the ties between the United States and France.
Whatever are you talking about,
I read your
Louis?
correspondences, Emily.
It's not what you think. So don't go thinking there's anything personal in it.
Are you trying to break Franco-American agreements, Emily?
That's the job, Louis. We're all doing everything we can to serve the best interests of our nation. It's got nothing to do with you or us.
But why didn't you tell me about it before?
Would you have told me?
Ok. Ok.
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Toi, t'es vraiment genre, elle est en mode, elle est pas franche, cette fille. J'ai du mal à la cerner quand même. Bon, je pense pas qu'elle ait eu la force de faire l'autre, je soupçonnerais plus le français. Mais nous verrons un peu de quoi il s'agit. Duc Malloy. Attends, je crois que je reviens en arrière là, c'est pas une bonne idée. Allons dans cette direction. Il me reste Bonaparte et l'autre à interroger.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Allons l'interroger. Très très stylé.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised
The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
Immunité découverte. Napoléon Bonaparte, il est immunisé à quoi? Alors Napoléon, on vient de découvrir une de ses faiblesses ou une de ses... Bonaparte. Immunisé à la politique et immunisé aux convictions. Il est immunisé à beaucoup de choses, on dirait. Alors, nom de cherchette. Ah, les grandes bottes du général.
A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of grandeur. Hannibal crossing the Alps. Another military success. Why do I get nothing but visions of horror in my room? And he gets victory after victory?
Non, qu'est-ce que je vais fouiller là-dedans, ça me servira à rien.
My dearest son, I'm writing to implore you to act quickly.
Maria Laetitia Bonaparte. Tiens, 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 c'était la fille. Alors, tac, 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 fouillons cette pièce.
My dear Napoleon, as previously agreed, my dear Napoleon.
Nitam.
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear. And the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
Donc le pistolet viendrait de là, ce qui serait logique. Rien du tout ici. Apparemment un fervent joueur d'échecs, forcément. Quel est ce tableau?
French actor Talma as Nero in Britannicus.
Amber.
Ah, l'ombre. Tac, tac, tac. Tac, ouais c'est bon, là c'est bon, là c'est bon. Est-ce que j'ai tout bien fouillé à l'épée?
It's a beautiful weapon, a lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
Immunité découverte, quoi? Comment ça? Il est encore immunisé à quelque chose? ok. Bon, moi pour lui parler. Hein.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Avec qui, monsieur?
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Pause.
Avec l'accent très français. Quelqu'un à qui...
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you.
Ok, alors que s'est-il passé sur notre...
Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight. So I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did
No,
you
remarqué
notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No.
Jusqu'à quelle heure s'est-il passé quelque chose de notable? Passons. Alors, sur la nuit dernière... On va d'abord commencer par là.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Est-il sincère?
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Ok, donc possède-t-il
As
un
any
pistolet?
good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not
Do
loaded.
you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you.
Ok. On l'a vu rôder.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
D'accord. Bon. Je pense pas que ce soit lui non plus. Bon bah forcément il reste l'autre. Hein. Évidemment.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me that...
Cut the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
Cette affaire.
A pattern with 4 circles.
S'éloigne, j'en ai pas besoin pour le moment.
The Massacre of the Innocents, but by Van Harlem.
I think that Mortimer likes to play mind games with his guests. Nice decor for a revolutionary tribunal judge's room.
C'est vrai que chacun a une idée.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad.
Non, sinon vraiment, je suis prisonnier aujourd'hui, piégé par mes propres décisions de ravager. Maintenant et à jamais. D'accord. Encore une lettre d'amour. Tac, tac, tac. Tac.
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris. It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris. And there's some well-known names on it. This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
Y a pas d'indice, je suis déçu, je pensais qu'il y aurait plus d'indices dans cette pièce.
All right, have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
J'ai trouvé des empreintes de pieds sur les lieux.
I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations, you've wrapped up the investigation. All right, have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman?
Enfin, plus
I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting. All right, have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Ah bah il serait homosexuel en plus. Alors on va essayer de le manipuler. On va déjà manger un truc comme ça.
2 days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping. You think you're investigator of the year. Have you taken a look at yourself, Deriche?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Go on. Keep going.
Finish what you came to do, then get out of my room.
Ok,
You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself.
ok, donc il a pas son arme, il a pas son machin, il reste plus qu'à faire ça.
Let's get right to it. Are you...
Vous êtes heurté à une immunité, un point d'effort est bloqué. Utilisez l'Exidor pour vous soigner.
Elizabeth Adams' murderer?
That is for you to prove, if I'm not mistaken, boy. You weren't expecting me to do all the legwork for you, were you? Lazy man.
Goodbye, sir. We shall meet again.
Probably.
Ok, on a tout visité, on a tout fouillé, on peut y aller. Notre rapport à Lord Mortimer sur la situation des récents événements. Voyons. Allons voir Lord Mortimer sur les récents événements.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening,
Je
Louis.
vous écoute. Putain, il a une voix de vicelard, ce mec.
Will you remind me of the facts we already know about?
Elizabeth Adams was killed last night, but Piaggi was with Holm and I until late at night. As for Bonaparte and Washington, they left us after midnight, both tired.
J'ai un coupable.
I believe I've identified the murderer.
Really, Louis? All right then. Please think carefully before you give me your answer. This is a very, very serious accusation.
Alors, maintenant nous voici le moment de réfléchir concrètement à tout ce que nous avons, mes chers caverniers. Premièrement, nous savons que c'est une empreinte de botte de type masculine. Deuxièmement, nous savons que les femmes sont innocentes dans l'affaire puisque l'autre n'était pas présente ce soir-là et qu'elle ne connaissait que très peu la victime. Même si elle a un lien évident avec l'ordre doré, ou les francs-maçons, hein, comme vous voulez. Ensuite, ce que nous savons également, c'est qu'un pistolet manquant a été trouvé dans la chambre de l'autre, que des marques de sang ont été données, ce qui signifie qu'il y a non seulement des accusations directes contre le juge Jacques Perru, et qu'en plus il y a des preuves. Mais j'ai peur que ce ne soit pas aussi simple, mais dans le doute, je pense que nous n'avons...
It would appear that Monsieur Perru is the culprit.
What proof do you have against him?
He hit her before yesterday evening. His Eminence Piaggi can testify to that fact.
Ah, very interesting. Anything else?
His weapon was in Elizabeth's room, which proves he was present at the scene of the crime.
I see. What else?
I found a footprint in the victim's blood. The size corresponds to a very tall man.
That's certainly suspicious.
I believe there's enough here to prove his guilt.
Very well. I'll share your conclusion with Gregory, and then I shall take care of everything from now on. Given the eminent guests and the important political issues involved, I trust you will leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
When I first came here, I wasn't that worried. In the past, my mother has taken a few liberties during her missions, including disappearing for several days on end.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him, because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Isn't Bonaparte a bit young to deserve so much attention?
Well, you come straight to the point. I like that. Indeed, if you knew just how much you remind me of him. Trust me,
I'll wager that Monsieur Napoleon will soon prove himself. I'm working on it, at least.
Mais quel escroc.
Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play.
Et je le pense toujours.
And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us,
Fais au l'immense honneur d'y assister.
would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what he said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she's wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wolder, and myself.
And what about Mr. von Wolder?
Moi, je me méfie de ce
You know
type.
him well?
To be honest, not really. He's closer to Gregory. I'm not the one who invited him.
Tiens.
What I know of him is what they say in high society salons. He's a man who manages to form alliances with the right people when it's necessary. As a minister of the church, he actively repressed the religions of the book and the spirit of the Enlightenment. And, if I'm not mistaken, he has a passion for alchemy.
But then, I must admit, he is rather evasive and not very talkative, at least toward me.
I'd like to have a word with him if I get the chance. He might be able to tell me more about my mother's last days with you.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jersey, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
The armistice between the Russians and the Turks. Russia's come out of it having officially won Crimea, which gives it direct access to the Black Sea.
And, at the same time, the Mediterranean Sea. I'm worried about the decisions Tsarina Catherine might decide to take. She's a woman who managed to get rid of her husband to accede to the upper reaches of power. Gaining access to the Mediterranean Sea remains her main objective. When she still had that dear Potemkin as her lover, I could always find out about her intentions, but those days are over.
You're speaking of Grigory Alexandrovich Potemkin?
The very man. The little devil behind the mother of all Russia. Since his death, I know absolutely nothing of what the Tsarina is up to.
Oh, really?
Ah, yes. I didn't mean to shock you. Please forgive me.
Let's just say that, in my position, it is often advantageous to know about the habits and customs of world leaders.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Unfortunately, my lord, the Crusades are not my chosen field.
Well, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of time to learn. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are
J'ai l'impression de perdre mon temps avec cette discussion, c'est bizarre.
to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on. That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she... Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself.
C'est
She never
bizarre
gave
quand
me
même.
an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you. The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Juste aller vérifier un truc.
Monsieur Johann von Wollner.
Je peux pas aller l'interroger encore, ce fumier. Faudrait que j'aille l'interroger.
There are burnt papers in the chimney.
Tiens.
There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Voilà. L'homme à l'épée.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
What is this disc?
Fiez-vous à moi, foi en l'homme en l'épée.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Magnifique tableau.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Putain. Le Caravage. Est-ce que j'ai vu tout ce qu'il y avait à voir dans cette pièce? On dirait bien. Peut-être la bibliothèque, où j'aurais peut-être manqué un bouquin, non. Bon, passons à l'autre. Ah si, ici.
The door appears to be locked on the other side. I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. Open sesame.
Stratégie, stratégie.
It's open.
Parfait. Voilà, là je me suis bien restauré mon énergie.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure
l'homme à
11
l'épée, Paul.
and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean? So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe? Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Très intéressant.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Reni.
Nice.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
L'homme à l'épée, ça doit être Paul.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air. The New Testament.
Épître à Paul 1, les évangiles des actes des apôtres, épîtres pastoraux de l'Apocalypse, épître Paul 1 sur 2. Épître Paul aux Philippiens, au Testament. Ça doit être Paul 11. Épître aux Éphésiens 14-17. Épître aux Philippiens 11, 14, 4. Épître à Paul aux Romains, chapitre 11, verset 11.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid.
Vu
But
que le
rather
chiffre
through their
11 était
fall,
refait.
salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait. A note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here.
Ah, je suis pas mauvais, hein.
Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle.
What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that? This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord. A volume of the Gutenberg Bible.
Le plus jeune des apôtres, qui est-il?
It's Saint John, painted by Guido Rini.
Structurer le cadre.
The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting.
C'est lui le plus jeune des apôtres, Saint Jean.
The pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their... What does it mean? St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my... Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies? Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Rini.
Toujours merci, tu l'as dit. Regardez le cadre.
There's nothing worth noticing here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
Merci, mais j'ai pas assez. Examiner.
No, nothing of value here. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years.
Ok, d'accord. Ça doit pas être lui. Donc ça c'est Paul, tout le monde l'a vu. Ça c'est machin, tout le monde l'a vu. Matthieu, c'était lui. Donc Saint Jean est dans l'autre pièce.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul
Parfait,
faces an
merci,
ordeal,
merci, c'est
curtains of his
gentil.
illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Allez, dépêche-toi, dépêche-toi. Ça on l'a déjà dit.
This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
Le nombre 4. Nombre 4, le nombre 4. D'accord, je commence à y voir un peu plus clair.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
D'accord. Les évangiles, les actes des apôtres, les épîtres pastoraux de l'Apocalypse, les épîtres de Paul aux Corinthiens, aux Romains, aux Galates. Non. Corinthiens. Chapitre 4, verset 18. Je pense que ça doit être chapitre 4. Revenir en arrière. Chapitre 4, verset 18.
Because we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Je m'en bats les couilles.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
On s'en bat les couilles.
Whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who think only of earthly things.
Je comprends pas là.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Corinthe, donc les Corinthiens, donc la Bible. Aux Éphésiens, aux Philippiens, aux Thessaloniciens, aux Hébreux, Épître aux Corinthiens. Est-ce qu'il y a un 4 dans l'eau? Épître aux Corinthiens.
Because we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Merci, c'est génial, mais...
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe? Strange. St. Paul is shown twice, unlike the other disciples. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims.
Merci, 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 j'ai compris.
Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
C'est Corinthiens, Thessaloniciens, c'est dans les Corinthiens.
How shall not the ministration of the Spirit not be more glorious? Now I pray to God that ye do no evil, not that we should appear approved.
Le mystère s'épaissit de plus en plus. En tout cas, je pense que ça fait un moment qu'on y est. Alors, exceptionnellement, je pense que l'on va s'arrêter ici. D'habitude, on s'arrête à la fin de chaque épisode, mais là, je pense que ça va être trop long, sinon. Alors, je pense qu'on va s'arrêter là pour cette énigme et qu'on reviendra dessus la prochaine fois. Bon, bah, en tout cas, si cette vidéo vous a plu, n'hésitez pas à liker, partager, commenter et vous abonner. Ça nous fait toujours plaisir. Et moi, je vous dis à bientôt pour une prochaine vidéo. C'était De Beer pour la Caverne des Conteurs.